chocolate covered steak.
Culture's go-to move. Hey,
Who doesn't love fondue?
I used to play Xbox with the drummer from The Who. That's true.
That is true. Okay.
Zach Starkley. Ringo's kid. Well, he's not a kid anymore. He's like 50 or some shit.
Wait, but he wasn't. He wasn't the original Who.
No, not the
drummer,
original.
'cause he
No, that guy's
died way.
dead.
Okay,
Yeah.
just making sure.
These guys are afraid of cooking.
Echo.
I cooked
much
tonight.
Echo.
I know he is the Echo King. He can do anything.
You guys are liars.
I cooked a low carb chicken and broccoli stir fry tonight.
I cooked DoorDash. Oh God, it just takes
Wow,
out of nowhere.
Just drop.
What
Flames.
are you ducking for? Like, that's a technical term.
I do
Scott.
like how I don't have to like cut though. I'm not cutting anymore. You put it all in one.
You know what? I need to
Echo.
update these TVs.
Are you
Echo,
messing
echo.
with us about this Echo? Because I have talked to you about this so many times.
It's not his channel. He can mess with it all he wants.
There is no Echo, only Zool.
All right. Yes, sporks are popular with cannibals. We all know that. You know why they're afraid of being late for dinner? Because none of them want to get the cold shoulder. Makini Draws says, hail, everybody. And we're getting started. Sorry for being a little late, but we're always a little late. How is everybody doing? It is the Humpty Dump. It is the Wednesday edition. I am exhausted. And yeah.
Why are
Hi,
you
everybody.
exhausted, Scott? Why
I've
are
been
you
up
exhausted?
since 1 a.m.
Yeah, dude, he works on like submarines.
It's not even that. Thanks for telling everybody.
Yeah,
With you?
That was
I
totally nothing I've ever told anybody. So
I
thanks.
was just guessing.
Yeah,
Like,
okay.
No, I really had no clue. I just knew you worked with.
Anyway, shut up. We are gonna cut that from the opening. So there goes my security. Anyways, let's talk with culture. How are you tonight?
Good. I had a very interesting day. I did the a little bit over with Loki's Mornings of Mischief this morning. That was fun. Then I did the 6-minute daily, released a video that was edited by Mr. Grant Gregory, who's a very talented editor. Then I went over and hung out and did some street smarts with Mr. Mad Martigan from Mad Barber Entertainment. And then we did Wednesday Live, and now I'm here.
Good. Thank you for being here. And ETEP is here tonight.
Hi, everybody. It's me, Itepokuyan from the Place to Be Reviews, right here with all of you on Sporking News Podcast, The Dump. Thank you all. Hail the panel, this chat, the best on YouTube. I'm glad to be here, and I'm looking forward to making fun of Josh Gad.
Yes.
You seem very reserved, ETEP. There was no,
he's holding it in. He's holding it in.
The People's Belt didn't make an appearance. I don't know what happened.
It's a slow burn tonight. It's a slow burn.
Right. It's a slow dump. It's one of those painful ones. And we also have someone who hasn't been here for a while, Immortal Coil. How are you, sir?
What is happening, YouTube? It is good to be here. This is Immortal Coil, your oracle of whiskey mysticism. Good to be here. Good to take a dump. You know? When it gets a little tight in the pants, when your belt feels heavy, come on over to Sporking News Podcast. He will teach you how to dump.
I hope so. And Loops Lips, Sink Ships, Mad Cheesemo.
Earlier in the stream, I made insensitive comments regarding Scott. Since then, I've had time to reflect, learn, and grow from this incident. I promise to do better, to be better, and to be more aware of other people. Hopefully in time I can gain back whatever, et cetera, truly I feel, and Bible quote. And I hope to say something positive about Scott. The end.
That sounded so sincere.
That sounded like everything that they make you do.
I just wrote that.
That was better than the State of the Union last night.
Yeah, at least it made some coherent sense.
Yeah, you actually read it.
We could understand
it too.
What do you think they shot him up with?
Well, what's they got a double dose of the anti-Alzheimer's meds.
I mean, it was a cocktail, man. There was more than that.
Yeah.
There was some amphetamines, maybe.
Yeah,
I think
Cocaine, baby.
Dude,
I think he had
what
Snow
did they do?
Dub's hand up his ass.
That
Maybe.
might also be true. But what did they give to the crazy Skeletor lady behind it? That's like,
The
She was
blind-
like going like this. I was like, what?
Before we let the foreigner speak, I
Yeah.
just wanted if I think it's safe to say if I can out cognitive anyone, it would be Biden, right? We can agree on that.
Yeah. Yeah.
out cognitive anybody?
Yeah, culture. Look it up.
Well, all I know is we had like 3 crypt keepers watching over our country last night, and that was frightening.
Yeah.
Did you guys? Did you see the penguin there? Chuck Schumer, the penguin was even there.
Yep.
No,
My favorite thing is getting up to clap before anybody else does. And
not
Yeah.
only that, it was on the booze. Like everybody's booing. He's like, "Am I clapping? I'm not paying attention."
Well, somebody who has a worse country than us, Sam McCabe.
Oh,
Hey, how's it going, everyone? Good to see you all.
Like
Yeah,
he
good
would
to
know.
see
He didn't
you,
even know
sir.
about. He didn't even know what the Battle of Brisbane was. I did.
Brisbane.
Yeah, it's
it took place at
No, I
IHOP.
didn't. It's a
it's
great
Australia. It's Australia for Dallas.
Yeah.
I'm proud of that. I don't give a shit.
That was great. Mr.
Well,
Dragon.
forgive me for missing that. Half of my city is underwater at this point.
Oh,
No shit.
That bad, huh?
I guess it's Australian for New Orleans.
We have monsoons down there, right? Do you guys get monsoons?
We get cyclones, yeah.
Cyclones. Dude, why can't we call our hurricanes cyclones? That's so much cooler sounding.
Because I think they're different things, bro.
No,
It's
just
the
different
same
sides
reason
of the world.
that the toilet spins the other way.
That's all. I think that's the only
can't do
difference.
that.
Different sides of the world. I'm telling
Is
you.
that wait the toilet or the cyclone thing? I
Well, the toilet does go backwards.
The cyclone and the toilet, sir.
I thought the cyclone was like a tornado on like water.
What do you think a hurricane is?
You seen
Just
Twister?
look,
Yeah.
to keep it simple, it's just a massive fucking storm, and that's it.
There you go. There you go. So we got Mr. Dragon saying greetings. Also, based on Midnight's Edge, Batman was meh, and why Yellowfish 2 was doing a virtual signal. Also, but I don't know what TBH means.
To be
to be
honest.
honest.
To be honest, I'm not Batman fan, but fan of The Dark Knight and Rises. Okay.
Man,
Well,
this-
honesty counts. Give me 1 second. I'm sorry, a child is here.
So let's talk about me a little bit.
All
I
right, go ahead,
released
say
my
hi. I'm
first.
sorry. She's going to say hi. Shut up. Go for it. Hi. There you go.
Hello.
Hey, baby.
All
How
right.
you doing?
Hey.
All right. Get out of here.
Go read,
Yeah, read something. Be smarter than me.
but not that
Ah,
Harry
It was
Potter.
Cody an 80s lunchbox.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, man. Dope. Mexican Iron Man, who is a channel member and awesome dude for $4.99. We need to get him on a dump
Cotton
again.
connection. Hell yeah.
Yeah, dude. A donation pledge for the SMP Joint Venture Intern Leadership Development Program. I'm going to start that. I like that idea. That is a good idea. So, everybody.
Well, wait. Technically, all you're doing is adding an extension to what I already offer for, hosts that are in development, like Mad Cheesemo from Mad Barber Entertainment. He was the very first member of the intern program.
And
Never
then
an
what do you
intern.
do? You also enslave foreign people to, just edit your films and videos?
Wow, he gets paid,
Oh.
not
Yeah,
like
he's
what
not-
you do.
He's not
I
an
don't
indentured servant.
Damn it, that was good. I'll have to get some of my own.
It's called a conscript.
Conscript.
No, I pay.
A vassal.
A debtor.
Raise your hand if you pay people who edit and do work for you.
No.
Okay,
Nope.
there you go.
I got class, bro. I'm known for anything. It's my cognitive superiority to Biden and class. Dude, oh man, all right, I'm sending you something new. By the way, if you haven't checked
They've
out
done
my
great. They've done
Matchplanation
great. We got Culture Casino
Animal
out there. We
Kingdom,
got
it's out. It's a
Sporking
5-minute video
podcast.
talking about pandas.
We got author Stephen Walton.
You won't
Um,
learn anything,
We've
but
got Lorena Creel. We've got
Jane Theory.
I'm trying to Vigilante
9 out of
Williamson. We
10
got
fans
Jake
of
D.
Street Smots loves Matchplanations.
Yeah.
That is a fact.
Oh my God, I'll remember it later. Brain fart.
I'm trying to
But
give
he
you guys
says
a
Kathleen
commercial
Kennedy
break
will never
here.
be fired.
Wow, Jane is even taking shots at me? What is
Well,
happening?
Because she's smart. Street smarts.
Yeah.
Street smarts, everybody.
Smarts.
Hi,
I
Jane.
thought I saw Jane in the chat. So.
Jane is in the
Oh.
chat.
Oh,
How's it
she's
going?
there. She's made herself
Yeah,
known.
see?
There
A
she is.
cyclone is
Jane.
an upside down hurricane.
Right, that's like a tornado.
So is that like
Wait,
a
no,
crossfire?
that doesn't make
Is
sense.
that like a crossfire hurricane?
Do you remember Crossfire,
Someone
the
look
game
up
with
the
the little...
difference. Tell me what the difference is between a cyclone and a hurricane. There is no difference. There is no
why you
difference.
need
I
a
think maybe one
producer.
goes a different direction.
like a
Because of
donkey
where it
and a
is in the
mule.
hemisphere.
That's it. That's
Yeah.
it, right? Northern hemisphere is
Hemisphere
hurricane.
designation. Yeah.
Thank you.
It's
So, well,
Joint
they are
Cabinet.
basically the same thing,
I
but are
would-
given different names depending on where they appear. Hurricanes are tropical storms that form over the North Atlantic. This is all off the top of my head. Atlantic Ocean and Northeast Pacific. Cyclones are formed over the South Pacific and the Indian Ocean. Typhoons, however, are formed over the Northwest Pacific Ocean.
Are they?
Ah,
And
there you
sometimes
go.
we have balls and sometimes we have nuts.
There you go.
Yes,
Street smarts.
Yeah.
Just dropping those facts.
Yeah. Dropping
Street
them.
smarts and its
We
10
had
fans.
we had almost 20 people at one point today on Street Smarts.
Wow.
Should have been more. Dude, our speakeasies though are kicking ass, man. Like we had 700 the other episode. Last night we had like 60 for over an hour.
'Cause
And
nobody
sticking with
sleeps.
us for an hour.
Because
Yeah,
no
that's true.
sleeves. Mutant Bamhammer is going to trick me into freeing Mr. Grant Gregory because he's going to make me give him a sock.
By the way, doing another speakeasy tonight at 1 a.m. Central.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
Hey, dude, what's it like to stay up all night?
I guess I'm in party all day. Wait, no,
No, that's maybe. So, anyways, does
it
anybody
feels
looking
like being
forward,
up during the day, but
Yeah.
not as illuminated.
Anybody looking forward to the Batman?
I was, and until like I've heard so many tepid like Tom's like it's I'm like, well,
Yeah.
I'm excited.
Well, that's why we're gonna look at some early reviews, and they're mixed. I for one believe that Patterson, Sparkles,
Sparkly Batman.
Sparkles
Pants.
Vampire
is a good
Sparkles.
Vampire Sparkles Batman.
He's better
is
than
a
that.
good actor, and but I don't know if this is the Batman we want to see right now.
Well, it may not be the Batman that we want, but it
you're
may be
gonna-
the it may be the Batman we receive. See what I did there? It's called Swerve, bro.
Swerve it.
Settle down, Russo. Settle down, Vince Russo.
Marcos, how are you?
Swirls.
All right, so Jane's ready. Jane, if you want to, if you have time, someone send her a link. If you feel free, bring
She
the
doesn't
IQ
follow
of
me
this
on
up.
Twitter.
Well, she's smart. So yeah, critics
No
reviews
argument
are
here.
in. They're even calling it on Newsweek. I guess this is a Newsweek article. Emo Batman. Emo.
Okay.
Right.
Wow, you guys are great. Thanks. The early reviews are in for the upcoming movie, The Batman, and some critics think it's one of the best live-action Batman films ever made, shills. The review embargo lift late on Monday, meaning journalists who've seen previews of the movies are finally...
Nobody's gonna keep it down.
finally free to share their opinion. The reviews weren't unanimously positive, though, with plenty of reputable critics finding fault with Matt Reeves' The Batman. All right, so let's see what they say. Batman currently sits at second highest rated with The Dark Knight Rises and behind The Dark Knight. So they're saying, of all the live action movies released featuring the character, this one currently sits second highest from the critics' reviews, I guess.
Did they?
Rotten
I'm,
Days.
was this titled that the reviews are mixed? Because like 87 doesn't feel mixed to me.
Not at all.
Yeah. That's
Yeah,
that's
mixed.
that's a little misleading there.
I guess it is when the protagonist is a white male.
It's 87% powered by Microsoft.
Patriarchy. Well, yeah, they're by men.
By the way,
I won't be happy until Batman is a BIPOC.
Oh,
well, I don't know if you've heard of Gotham High, but you should check that out.
Oh my god. Oh, that
are they making that live action? I heard.
I hope so. Are you kidding?
no, that's Gotham Knights. That's Gotham
that's
Knights.
Gotham Knights.
I'm actually working on a musical for Gotham High. I think everybody's going to love it. It's going to be incredible.
I do not see you living to see to see that come to fruition. Like
Nope.
people will murder over that, dude.
Was it like Glee with Batman?
Better.
Okay.
Better.
Well,
Yeah, I'm telling you, it's going to be the best musical ever.
Okay.
Starfire
I'm
is, in fact, not Bruce Wayne's mother. In fact, Bruce Wayne's mother is dead.
I am not Starfire. Will not be featured in Gotham High.
What?
Yeah,
Oh,
I'm just gonna say that out. I'm just gonna say
How
that.
dare you?
Now Starfire might be, but I'm telling you right now that Gotham High the musical. Actually, I might even follow that up with Gotham High the musical, the TV show.
The TV
Gotham
show.
High, the TV show. I don't know if they let you do that, bro.
Then I'm gonna have Gotham High the musical, the TV show, the musical.
So what you're saying is you're making stuff ETEP will cover
Yeah.
episode by episode.
I'm
Yeah,
over
absolutely.
here clinging to a glimmer of hope that they renew Batwoman for season 4, because if not, I'm going to be walking around like Leanne Rimes singing "How Do I Live Without You" with a picture of freaking
God.
Batwoman,
I
my
couldn't be more
Batwoman
sorry for you,
Funko Pop. I
Did
honestly,
anybody send Jane a link?
I did.
Okay.
I can't wait for that Gotham Knights show. Just the pilot. If it never gets past the pilot, I'm like, because it's written by the 3 people that are responsible for the majority of Batwoman, which is phenomenal because they work under that ghoul Caroline Dries.
Oh
so,
God. So
yeah.
is
How many
it?
people have gotten seriously injured under her command?
Oh God, you're talking. Well, there was a production
All the
assistant,
people.
Ruby Rose. I think
I think
one of
Ruby
the
Rose breaks her
I
back.
mean,
Interesting.
They
Are
had a
we
stunt
counting
person get
psychological damage
Yeah,
to the
one of the
audience here?
one of Ruby's stunt people got
really messed up.
destroyed.
What up, Jane?
Hey, Jane.
Oh.
For the record, there was nobody important that got injured. Just
No,
putting the facts out there.
Jane,
well,
are
Ruby
you
Rose
excited?
weighs 5 pounds.
Yeah.
Jane, are you excited for the Batman?
I kind of am. More and more, actually.
See, me too.
It looks
The
good.
Same.
87% kind of puts a dent in it because normally I go against Rotten. Like if it's like at a 20, I'm like, this may be pretty good. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Look, I probably won't be able to see it till April, unless someone finds something on the high seas, because life. But I am kind of looking for anything Batman. I have a lot of the times been like, oh, like Affleck. Oh, this isn't going to be good. He was good in the role.
He was
I
good.
agreed. I thought his Batman was excellent.
And
Yeah.
That was-
Christian Bale. When
I'm
he
not
came
wearing
out, it
hockey
was great.
pads.
Yeah.
When it came out, it was great. Like it was going from like Batman and Robin to that was, I think people
Well, I
forget
mean,
how great that was.
Yeah.
You're grading on a curve here,
Go
Scott.
back.
Yeah,
Like,
Well, no, I'm grading
That's
at
a
the
steep
moment.
curve.
That was at the moment. You know?
I just rewatched the Nolan Batmans, and I got to say, like, boy, he has so much Michael Bay in him. Like, I don't think people realize. Like, I looked up the average shot length, right?
Uh-huh.
Michael Bay is like only a millisecond, like, more or less than him. Like, he's at 3.0, and Nolan's at 3.1 average
Really?
shot length. Yes.
Wow.
And you can see it, man.
What do
The
you-
fight choreography in the Batman movies are
Yeah.
lacking.
Like I'm already against the idea that he could take on 2 fully automatic weapons to the chest and
Oh,
nothing
this
happens
one?
to him.
Yeah.
You know,
That's
I
that
got some
doesn't-
issues.
I mean,
That's
you have
not
to
how that works.
suspend- Yeah, you have to suspend reality a little bit. But
Yeah.
I mean,
Oh.
Batfleck for me, like I was about to riot over that casting. I hated it.
Same.
Yeah, same here.
And
Yep.
then I was just convinced. So I mean, I'm giving him a chance. I know he's a good actor.
He was a
I was-
monster.
I'm still under the impression, as far as the DC side, like the cinematic side goes, in the main line, Affleck is the Batman character is the only one that Snyder should have touched. Like honestly, he shouldn't have ever had Superman. He was good with Batman is dark and broody. Okay,
Right.
that's cool.
Yeah.
That is your speciality.
Yeah.
But
But a
but
positive
as far as-
role, right?
yeah, Superman, no. The Flash. I mean, you got Fruit Loop Flash anyway, so it doesn't really matter.
Look,
you know,
I think
Screams
culture
at
may
its
be
fan,
culture may
Flash.
be able to back me up on this, but I'm pretty sure Batman Ben Affleck had a lot of say so in his character in those movies. Like I'm pretty sure he had a lot of influence on how he was portrayed as Batman, and by the
it
way,
worked.
We
It
were
almost seemed like
robbed.
he was portraying himself.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
we were robbed not having a Ben Affleck directed Batman movie. Like,
Yeah.
I really, really think Ben Affleck is a great director. The Town and
Oh,
Gone
God,
Baby
yeah.
Gone.
Yep.
Oh, so good. Even with Casey Affleck.
Hello, Mr. Grant Gregory.
Hello.
Oh
How
my
are you,
goodness.
sir?
Going good. I just just had to stop off and go somewhere and just thought I might as well come back in and see my brother from another mother, Etep, and ask him has he drunk his juice today, Billy?
Billy, drink your juice. It's me, Robert Loggia. L for look, it's Robert Loggia. I'm gonna give your mom the juice, Billy.
Oh yeah, he definitely gives her the juice, that's for sure.
Okay. Well, Mr. Grant Gregory, are you looking forward to The Batman?
I was until I spoke to Tom.
Right?
Yeah, that bad.
He was
huh?
there with me last night. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
He,
man.
he really came in and kind of like not on purpose, but he kind of pissed all over our like, ooh, kind of getting excited for the Batman. He's like, it's
What did he not like though?
Yeah,
specifically?
yeah. Give
he
us.
really didn't get into it because he didn't want to talk about spoilers, but he was just like, it's like it was just so like
To
neutral
call it
about the whole
mediocre
thing.
would be a compliment.
Yeah.
You know what? I want spoilers now because I
He
just.
put it as his number 7th Batman.
What?
Right.
Yeah.
How?
Ouch.
He loves the
Sorry,
ice
six.
puns.
6, yeah.
Like Clooney is better than him. He's saying.
I
Oh,
think
hell
as
no.
Nipples
Bruce
are
Wayne,
better.
I mean,
Clooney was great.
Does he just have a problem with this sort of first year Batman thing? Because I know a lot of people that is the
Well, it's-
one thing they
it's-
do
yeah.
not like in the
I
comics
think it's
or
year 2
here.
they were saying. So he's already
Yeah,
been
well, it's
established for
it's,
years. So.
it's like year 2. He's been doing it roughly for only the year.
Yep.
But the problem. Okay,
But
so
the only spoilery thing that he says it follows very, very much in Long Halloween.
Yes,
and he
I
doesn't
thought
like
that's-
it, and he doesn't
Yeah.
like that story.
see, I like that story. I thought it was an interesting 2-part animation. So
Well, I wonder
like
about this. I've read a lot of stuff where Robert Pattinson failed to bulk up, failed to show up and do all
I
this
think he
stuff.
was
So they,
bullshitting, man.
well,
Yeah, I
Yeah,
don't.
no,
can you
I
tell the
really-
difference between the stunt guy and Pattinson? Is what I want.
I haven't heard that from anyone that's seen it, but
Right.
I mean, you got to understand, like that Firstman 15. You know what I mean? Like he really had to work to get that off of
Yeah.
him. So
He,
I
well,
wouldn't have a
the-
problem with him not
'Cause
being
it's his
bulked up
second
though, because
year.
he's a young version
Yeah.
of the. He's not gonna be Ben Affleck big, like.
You gotta say Affleck was like 255, wasn't he?
Yeah,
When he played, he was
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
he was thick. He was a big boy.
Ben
when he
Affleck is
played
a
that role.
grown ass man. Like
Yeah.
All right, so-
yeah, there's a difference between that grown man and like Robert Pattinson. Like
Right,
Robert
here's-
Pattinson's grown, Ben Affleck's
Yeah.
a man.
Here's the article we're doing next, and
he's
I mean,
gonna have to do some flips. And
he
shit.
doesn't look like he hasn't been working out at all.
No, but that's
No.
a camera angle. Look
Yeah.
at that.
What he
I mean,
probably-
mine would still look like boobs. His doesn't.
What he probably didn't do was take.
Let's all turn on our cameras at that
No.
same angle and see.
Yeah, Jane, I,
Things like
I,
that.
yeah, Jane, I think you're right. I think this is what you see when they don't take HGH for 12
Yep.
months leading
Yeah.
up to a movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know you get someone like Affleck who was like 47, and
Yeah.
he looked like he was like a monster of a man, like the
Dude,
Rock.
Hugh
Look at the
Jackman,
Rock
Yeah,
too.
it's the Hemsworth diet without the chemical help.
Yeah,
Yeah.
ask
Right. This is a
Etep.
natural bulk up, basically.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Dude, I
Like,
can,
look at Hugh Jackman. Like, look at when he first played Wolverine to when he was in not Logan, but the Time Before Past, Saving Present Day. Forgot the name of the movie.
Saving President Ryan.
He's in Future Past. Yeah, like
Jason
it's
Rhodes
just
Ryan.
Scholar motherfucker.
He was Jack. But what were you gonna say, Culture? Ask Etep what?
oh, I look, I'm going to spend the next, several months getting completely jacked like Affleck, because apparently when I get to 10K, I have to do a stream with my top off for a period of time.
Well, no, the speculation was you have to show your nipples. That was the main thing. Whether you
Yeah.
have holes in your
I'm
shirt
just-
or anything is it's
I'm,
up to you.
dude, I'm gonna get completely yoked. I think Etep's gonna help me train so that I can look like Affleck for that stream.
And that's the thing. Like when I got, and I can speak to that, like Affleck getting butt, because I never used PEDs when I was wrestling. But I went in from January of 2017 to by July I had went from 200 pounds to about 245.
Right.
And I mean, I wasn't like cut up, but I was just big and thick,
Right.
because I wasn't trying to get cut. But yeah, it can be done naturally. But yeah, you're not going to get like that toned out unless you're like using Tren and HGH
Yeah.
and shit. Like that's
And
when
just-
you're gonna get like your striations
Yeah.
and shit.
Personal
and you gotta
stuff and
And I know people are saying like, look, he would
Yep.
look more like a Robin or a Nightwing, like a Nightwing, but this is only year 2. He's still a
Yeah,
young
he's-
guy.
he's
Like the
young.
cartoon might make him really jacked, but in reality, he
Yeah.
would be bulk getting to the bigger size. He would still be a slender but built guy.
Yeah.
because he just
looks
got, you know,
athletic.
right. Well, I mean, he
Right.
just League of Assassins, stuff like that. He's not, all jacked for that. He's all about quickness, and we'll see that. I mean, that's why it bothers me that he's taking the machine guns. He should be really fast, really agile, and they make it just like he can walk through bullets. And that's what I didn't like when I saw.
I am
I gotta
back.
know. I hope they explain like what armor he has, because like the way you tell if someone like took a round in their sappy plate or not is
Yeah.
if they fly. If they just drop,
Yes.
the bullet went through them.
Exactly.
If they fall, if they get knocked off their ass, it hit the plate more than likely. So you don't have to run to him just yet.
Right.
Finish,
He looks like he
finish your
doesn't budge
falafel.
though.
Right.
Yeah.
What up,
So
DJ?
Robert Pattinson would win in that Pizza Hut
Yeah,
commercial.
it's like some vibranium shit, right?
Yeah.
it just absorbs the freaking
Right.
the energy and redistributes it.
But I think that's almost like how would that actually happen with
wouldn't.
physics? And I know Patson's about 40. I think he's supposed to be younger
What?
in the movie.
Well,
He's
yeah,
not
he's playing,
40,
he's
come on.
playing a 20-something-year-old, right?
Yeah.
Somebody Google that. I don't believe that.
Is he really 40?
No,
I
hold
wouldn't
on.
doubt it. Let's think. No, maybe he's not 40. I don't
He's
know.
got
I
to be
haven't
like
looked it up.
31.
Someone
maybe.
Google.
I thought he was maybe like 35 around there.
That's what I was
Yeah.
thinking too.
He's 35. He's 35. Who said 40?
Yeah. Who said 40?
Somebody in the
Age-
chat said he
age
was
70s
is-
rock
40.
fan. 70s rock fan. No diss. It's
No.
just,
Well,
No.
you're wrong.
yeah, like
Please come back. No, don't leave.
going all Biden in the chat. Like he's 40.
He's in an age range that he could play any of
Thank
those
you.
things. So.
Right. You could play mid 20s or
Yeah.
mid 40s. So we did get some reviews in. I know, Tom now has given his review. Let's see what Vanity Fair said. Richard Lawson believes director Matt Reeves has drawn inspiration from David Fincher's movie like Seven. We've heard this like 1,000 times from the Batman.
Which is set in Gotham.
You
Yes,
son of a
yes.
bitch, dude. You know that's my thing.
Which has been made. Lawson notes that gone are the days of Nolan's global trot in Batman. Instead, we see a more small-time and local Batman, which is a refreshing approach, which it is nice to see him in Gotham. Let's see, Clarissa.
Clarice.
Yeah, Clarice from The Independent says the emo tones of the Batman she gave it a 4 out of 5. After different iterations of the DC comic character have been and gone over the past few years, she believes this Batman is the only one we ever actually needed.
Oh, I wouldn't go that
yeah,
far.
here we got it. Yeah.
A little too far.
To think
yeah.
of it as anything more only leads to delusion or disappointment. So it's a very good Batman film. So if this is the only one we needed, it's only very good. That doesn't make sense.
It can't exist without the ones that came before it.
Right.
It's too
Yeah.
derivative, even in
Right.
the trailers.
Wow, this is they say this from Empire. Director Matt Reeves rendering perhaps the best screen realization of Gotham so far.
I've heard that. Yeah. The
Yeah.
Ahead of
world's
Tim
view
Burton.
is better, they say.
That's
Well,
what
yeah,
J-
I've heard it's more of a like an 80s style like London versus
Yeah.
say the Gothic style that Burton had.
Okay.
Okay.
They're saying Catwoman is instantly charismatic. Zoe Kravitz and Paul Dano's chilling performance as the Riddler.
Well, she's
A lot
also
of people
apparently
like
she's
her.
also a lesbian in it as well.
No, bye.
No.
Bye.
Bi, sorry, bi.
She's
Sorry.
bi.
Well, that's not even
It's-
in there. It's one line that they keep
Yeah.
asking her to interpret as gay.
Yeah.
well,
but
they
Why? What'd
want
she
that.
say?
she calls another girl babe or something like that, right?
Oh no!
Or
Oh,
putty
Jesus,
or
look
baby
out.
or something like that.
That doesn't
mean-
mean anything.
Don't
I
you
call
think the
the Matt
Catwoman
Barber.
would be a little bit? I mean,
You know, this
Tom
is
inferred it was a lot more than that.
I mean, most
Look
women
at-
are in
look
college.
at Zoe Kravitz's outfit as Catwoman looks great, and then they like butchered her mask. What were they going for? It's like they took like a ski mask and just like, because the outfit looks great. I just was questioning the mask. I'm like, shouldn't it be a little better. I don't know. I mean, am I the only one that had an issue with that? Like I said, because she looks great in the role. Like the outfit, everything looks good. It's just the mask kind of threw me. It didn't look good.
Could it be
I don't
this
know.
is also? I mean, this is new for her too.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wasn't sure. I'm like, how far is she established in this story? Because I never read this. I never read the comics. So.
Well, we can't. Yeah, they can't. You can't make it too pretty. They don't want to do that in Hollywood this day and age. If you got a pretty girl, you've got to like rose tinker her a bit.
Yeah.
She's not too attractive. So.
Well, I'm not saying they did that to her. I'm just saying the mask looked weird because like the outfit looked like it was like on point with everything, but I don't know. It's just like it didn't cover her face. I'm like, what? Like it was just kind of weird. I'm like, I understand like the superheroes now, they don't want the mask to cover their face because that's the money, but at the same time, it's like they wear masks to hide their identities. So
It doesn't look like she's wearing a mask in that image.
No,
Yeah.
she's not in
No,
this.
she like shows herself to him. I
Yeah.
guess he doesn't to her. Nick McCabe, are you looking forward to surprisingly horny superhero movie? From the writer from Vulture feels the relationship between Batman and Catman give you a surprisingly horny superhero movie.
Why do they have to put it that way?
Well, I don't know if Nick.
You mean Sam?
Oh, it's Sam, Nick. Hey, I'll just go McCabe.
Matter.
It hardly matters. But anyway, look.
Sorry, Sam.
Tom's small review notwithstanding last night, I'm one of the very few people who is kind of ambivalent about it. I've got a bit of Batman fatigue, to be completely honest.
Really?
That's not to say that other people can't enjoy it. I'm just saying, form your own opinions. Go and see it if you want to go and see it. Don't go and see it if you don't want to go and see it.
Can you explain the fatigue?
Just because there have been so many Batman adaptations, there are cartoons all over the place, and it's like, well, can we really tread any new territory? I don't know. That's just it's just where I am at the moment.
See, I feel the same way. I feel the same way, Sam. I feel
that
like
being
let's
said,
just get it.
as I said, if you're really into it, go nuts.
Yeah.
If not, ho hum.
I can't get enough of Batman.
Yeah, see, I love Batman too.
I love Batman.
That being said, though, I mean, we've all heard the rumors, so we all know the rumors about a certain cat getting Batman's cream on set. But anyway,
Dude, nothing says Bruce Wayne more than him being on top of the Batmobile. Like that is the most Bruce Wayne thing you can hear.
Yeah, yeah, totally.
That's what won me over. Like I'm like, oh, Robert Pattinson. Then they're like, yo, you heard what happened on the set. I'm like, oh, on board. That sounds like Bruce.
The thing with Robert Pattinson, he is a very sarcastic dude. So a lot of the things he says in interviews, if you read it, sounds like he's like just being a dick. But when you watch the interview, he's actually like laughing through it. Like, so a lot of the things we've heard, like, he had to work out for it. Maybe he didn't get, like we said before, as jacked as everybody else. But I think year 2 Batman wouldn't be. I think the guy puts everything into a role. If you have only seen him in the Twilight series, then you don't know this actor at all.
By the way, the movies weren't that bad. Like I saw them.
I like Twilight.
Well, it was definitely better than the 9/11 film.
I literally had blood being sucked out of me while I was watching Twilight. Doing plasma. Yeah.
Jane said she liked Twilight.
Hold on, Ethan. There was a lot to unpack with what was just said.
Yeah,
Did you say
that's
Twi'lek or Twilight?
Twilight.
Damn, Twi'lek's draining me of blood.
Am I the only one curious about him having his blood sucked while watching Twilight?
That is Immortal Coil. That is.
I find sometimes it's better not to ask questions.
Yeah, you can join me at fucking 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the Savage Perspective.
I don't know what kind of digital curse you're put on me with your vampiric shit. Went on a date with a chick that thought she was a vampire once. She was annoying as shit.
Took her to an Italian restaurant, she ate garlic and died.
I made one joke about the sparkling. She's like, "Well, we do not sparkle." I'm like, "Well, maybe it's a regional thing, because they're in like
regional thing."
Yeah, like, they're way up there in the rain. Like it could happen. Who knows?
Maybe it's a different race of vampire.
Yeah. There you go.
See,
hey, the Times,
vampires.
UK publication, The Times, says Robert Pattinson struggles in the slow motion silliness. Marv unfavorably makes the link between the Lego movies' tongue-in-cheek portrayal of the depressing Batman origins and the serious tone of the Batman. That's what I'm worried about. Like, they lean too hard into this emo shit. But
I
again,
think he would be emo though.
I was
to
just
me,
about to
that's,
say.
like, his whole character.
You know, because like this, even though his parents have been dead for probably over a decade, he's still like, this is the beginning of his revenge, his journey. So he's still going to be really effed up.
Well, I think I talked about this on Jeff's stream from World Class Bullshit. Ever heard of him? Yeah, I'm
God,
on
you're
anyway.
such a name dropper. You're like Culture Casino.
Anyway, I was over on Jeff's stream. No, but
I just listened to him get roasted by Kendo last night. That was kind of funny.
Yeah, I don't think he appreciated my icon that I stole from him as much as I thought he would. I liked it. Anyway, but no, so I talked about it last night. We were talking about how like the mask is Bruce, not Batman. And I brought up the idea of like the struggle for him would be that mask, you know, whereas normally you would see the cracks in that mask as Batman, but since it's the opposite for him, like you could see him breaking down in Bruce Wayne rather than Batman. So like kind of frail and just like, you know, all mopey and shit.
Well, it's almost like he hasn't mastered the Bruce Wayne persona yet.
Which would be
really
harder for him than
Batman. Yeah,
it would be harder for him to be Bruce Wayne. Yeah,
right.
Haven't we already been given that by Nolan's trilogy?
No,
not as well though. I don't know yet.
But okay,
but I feel like he was really, yeah, you're right. He was bad at being Bruce Wayne. Like really bad. That's the one thing I couldn't stand. Well, there's a couple things, but I really hated about that trilogy. Yeah. He just was not good as Bruce Wayne.
But he did play in that world, in that movie, he was doing Bruce Wayne very well. Like he has, you know, 2 foreign chicks and they all get in the pool, more like a fish tank or whatever. He's like, I'll buy the hotel.
But he has no charisma. Like Affleck plays that role so much better. Like playing off, even when he's talking to Clark Kent, he still plays off the Bruce Wayne, even when he's like, no.
He's such a natural douchebag.
Yeah.
I think you mean Chad. You're mispronouncing that. I think you meant Chad.
That's
George
Clooney Chad energy.
Chad, yeah.
George Clooney was a better Bruce Wayne than whatever Bale.
I mean, that was at the height of his Frank Sinatra era time. So yeah. I mean, he was the goddamn man of the century, I believe.
ER?
Look,
man.
I question Christian Bale as Batman because I'm like, look, even as Bruce Wayne, because I'm looking at the Dark Knight and I'm like, you picked Rachel Dawes, like you're Bruce Wayne, like you threw away hotter women than her. Come on, man. Like that's Maggie. They couldn't find somebody better to play Rachel Dawes. Maggie Gyllenhaal's really where we settle with that for some billionaire playboy, and he settles for Maggie Gyllenhaal. I'd rather see Jake in a wig.
I think that was the thing, though.
I know. Yeah. It was funny to me, but Bale seemed a little short to be Batman. I hate to say that, but he's like, I'm a heightist. I'm like, because I don't know. He did. I'm a heightist. Man, I'm 6'3".
Oh, look at me. I'm so tall.
I'm looking at him going like, is he though?
Step ladder.
Judge me by my size, do you?
Batman, I did.
You're just more susceptible to strong winds. That's all.
That's it, man. And you know when it's raining.
There you go.
Blue-eyed
Chinese proverb.
Yes.
Science backs me up.
Maybe not Chinese, but Blue-Eyed Roof Korean, the base for $2, says Patterson played Cedric Diggory to cavernous depth. You know, he was young and not much in that role. And he died really, really honorably. So back off. RevKev, who has awesome channels, please check him out. RevKev Effect was Affleck was the bomb as Batman. Yes, he was. He was
a lot of physicality.
There'll never be another like him.
No, I really don't think so. And his Wayne was probably, for me, I think the best. But I would have to go back and look at, because you have a point about
go back and look at his Wayne.
No, I want to check out his big Wayne. Not his little Wayne.
Wow,
Wayne
is apparently Scott's spirit animal.
Yes. I want to look at Spider-Man bulges.
Whatever the
you didn't hear about that, Campia?
Real quick, whatever the digital whatever like the digital like thing would be to burning out a certain part of a VCR board. That's me and Gone Girl. Like
Well,
whatever.
I think we know that when Doctor Strange broke down the barriers, everybody arrived weighing first, because that's the first part of you that arrives through any portal.
I
Correct.
should just buy the movie.
Dun, 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 dun,
expensive.
dun, dun.
Equivalent. That's the word I was looking
Wow,
for.
where are we? The Guardian, respected British critic.
Talking about that D.
We all know Peter Bradshaw. He makes a comparison to a Saw movie in more favorable light, stating that the Batman feels like a serial killer chiller in the opening act. While the movie is overlong, clocking in at almost 3 hours, it features a pretty feeble non-ending. Bradshaw does commend the look of the Batman, stating it is tremendously designed, visually spectacular with great set pieces. So a lot of people are saying that like the Gotham itself looks like what you would expect Gotham to look like gritty and I don't know, closer to, like someone said before, like a Burton, but not as gothic as Gotham may be. I don't know if that made any sense.
Oh, that is one problem I had with the Nolan one. Like it felt like all the characters were just overlays on top of generic city number 2.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Like it could have been Toledo for all, you know what I mean?
Yes.
Like who knows, right? But it wasn't Gotham like what you had with Tim Burton, because Tim Burton did what like a Sex in the City. Like Gotham is another character, it's like the 5th character, right?
Right.
And like everything felt lived in and intertwined. Whereas
creepy
with Nolan,
and old and
yeah,
yeah,
Nolan was like just whatever's cheapest.
yeah. He just literally looked like he merged Manhattan with like some weird boroughs. Like you're right.
But we got a train in the sky or some shit.
Yeah. Well, RogerEbert.com, he's not alive anymore, but Christie says, everything is breathtaking, alive, and new, which makes the movie more like a gritty 70s crime drama. Almost achieves a perfect score with 3.5 stars out of 4. She compliments Batson as he's hungry to explore this figure's weird, dark instincts, and Kravitz, who she calls impossibly sexy.
All right, Christy.
Man, they are
She
just
is
lusting
smoking hot,
after
though.
her.
That's what you want, though. I mean, if you're gonna be Catwoman, you have to go all the way.
Yeah.
To get it
You
all
remember
from her, to get it all from her daddy.
Zoe Kravitz made that comment before the movie, "Don't fetishize my character." I think that was taken out of context because, yeah, like Jane said, that is Catwoman. She's supposed to be sexy. She's a femme fatale.
Yes.
that is her
That's one of her
personality.
weapons.
Yeah, it
That's
absolutely
her
is.
That is
I mean, Catwoman's a complete badass. She can fight, yeah, but she doesn't have to because, yeah, she has. And that's what is done right. When a femme fatale is done right, that's exactly what you get. She's almost like a triple threat.
Yes.
So I'm interested to see how they do that.
Right.
How she comes across.
Like,
because
with
I'm
a
going
femme
to see
fatale-
it Friday night.
Oh, nice. With a femme fatale, like the violence is the last resort.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. That shouldn't be the first thing they go to.
She has those eyes, dude. Come on.
Mm-hmm.
It's
she
crazy.
She can dislocate your jaw because it's on the ground.
Yeah, exactly.
That-
She
Too
just-
busy looking at this and that.
I'm just tapping out right away. I'm fine with that. You know what I mean? She just look at you and, yep, you're done. That's it.
Yeah.
You surrender.
Do you have a whip?
Yep, give up.
I know earlier versions had a whip. Do you have one?
Please say she does.
Yeah.
It would be so funny if she did.
Oh my
It's
god.
it's crazy
She
how
needs
many
to.
women how many women are like so against highlighting the strengths of what women like really have. You know, that the ability to just like, you know, just like mess with men and just mold them into what they want. Like that is a real strength that you don't find in most men, to be able to manipulate to such a level and almost like they're born with it. Or maybe it's Maybelline. I don't know, but
They're called pimps.
Modern
Well, no,
feminists
not even
don't
that.
like that, though. They see it as a
right,
weakness.
exactly.
But that is what is cool about and what they're getting wrong with in
Right.
this era with James Bond. James Bond was able to use his, you know, smooth
peen.
talking and his sexuality to make women work with him and,
Yep.
you know, do what he wants. You know, he used his class. He was like a classy gentleman spy, which they tried to turn him into Jason Bourne in the last decade, which sucks.
With 3 less cuts on every fight scene. But by the way, I have no problem with women in the spy game because I think that they are more capable in that world than men because they can get into just almost anywhere, just being them. Women and men, they just whatever they need to go into.
It's one of their weapons.
But in Hollywood today, they don't like to see people men or women really using their sexuality in any way because they don't want you to express it.
Right.
It's like everybody has to be neutral.
We want to be able to talk about it and tell everyone what type of gender sexuality you are, but we don't want to express it on film.
Exactly.
It makes
sense. What do you suppose the social engineering angle on that is, right?
Well, they want all Ruby Roses to look like The Rock.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, they're the same person, basically.
That's what they want.
I think it's to reduce the population, maybe long term.
Yes,
I don't think so.
I knew I liked you for a reason.
It's the truth.
Yep.
I don't think so because it's really difficult for them to make money if there's nobody there paying.
But they don't care about making money because they keep making trash entertainment.
It's the message. It's the message over the entertainment. Okay. That's what they're pushing. And the you turn it, and I said this on my Batwoman review the other day. I said I don't know how there's any kids in Gotham because everybody's a freaking lesbian. Every woman's a lesbian. Every dude is either you got your white dudes who are either evil, stupid, or both, and they try to emasculate every black male character in the show.
No, they succeed in that.
They succeed in that.
They did. They did. Like, look at anyway. They want that. You cut down the population, and then you have 2 classes. You have your ruling class, and you have all the plebs like us down here at the bottom. That's exactly what these jackass want. Yeah. And that's why they're pushing this early into schools, and you're pushing this, we need to teach kids about it. No, my 6-year-old doesn't need to know about that shit. That's why he goes to a private school.
Yeah.
Because I don't want my kid indoctrinated.
We're going to be talking about Josh Gad in a minute, because we know that...
Friend of the conservatives.
Yeah, well... this idea that we have to have gay characters in kids' films and go even harder with it, which, like, why do we even have to talk about sexuality in kids' films? I don't care if it's live action or not. You are doing a recreation of Beauty and the Beast. Why do you have to go
They
deeper
want
into
beauty
that?
and the bestiality. That's what they want.
I don't want it in my Thor movie either. I don't give a shit who Thor's fucking. I want to see him fuck shit up with his hammer.
Lightning up with Led Zeppelin behind him. Yeah.
But by the way, real quick,
that was one of the dopest moments.
I think I hung out too much with Wes and Drew when y'all were talking about like the whole the population thing. I'm thinking like Bilderberg, like you know what I mean, like
Bill Gates, you mean?
New World Order type stuff, not like the ideology behind.
But we were talking about that, Mad Cheesemo. That's what we were talking about. Anywho,
yeah, that was my bad. I was just saying that was my bad.
We're just kidding, everyone. Don't shut us down. So yeah, has anybody checked out what is it called? The Guardians of Justice series on Netflix yet? It is.
I'm gonna start.
Almost
weird.
Watched it today. Almost watched it today.
Weird.
It looks weird.
I heard Diamond Dallas Page is in it. I'm excited.
Is that who
watch
that
this.
is?
Yeah, DDP.
Did he do this and go?
Bang!
I think
did he do any
four of
yoga?
us had that joke.
Is he playing Hawk?
I don't know how to
the
watch
character's name.
Because
I just want him to do yoga. That's all I
mean, literally, they're ripping off the Justice League, and it's a weird. It is just a weird mix of cartoon and comic and old TV series.
It looked weird, yeah.
It's violent, but they have
got
powers.
a great rating. It's nearly at 4.
Dude,
out of 10.
I actually think it's pretty good. It might be something to cover.
We were either going to watch that or From, and we went with From, which I'm very excited that we did. If you haven't seen From, it's on Amazon Prime, and it's a damn
What's
good.
that
Like
about?
we're 2 episones in. It's
Thanks, Jane.
from
Jane's
the people
gotta
that
get
do
going, guys.
Oh, bye, Jane.
Thank you,
Bye,
Jane, for
Jane.
stopping
Bye,
in.
guys. It's been
Bye,
so much
Jane.
fun as
Check out
usual.
From. You'll like it.
Thank you.
Back
Thank
to
you.
work.
All right, have a good one. Thanks for stopping
Bye.
in.
Take it easy.
It's from one of the executive producers from Lost, right? So it's like weird and shit, and it's like there's this town or whatever where people get stuck, like they can't leave, and then there's shit at night, that
What's
are
it called
trying
again?
to from FROM
From.
and
Okay.
really happy two episodes in.
It's got the black guy that's in everything.
Well,
this?
but like third level though, not like Samuel Jack. Oh, this is for ETEP.
Oh, dropped some.
I forgot I was sharing that.
That was great.
So that's a part
Somebody
of
call
my.
Stephen Walton. That's a crime against trees.
That's a part of my matchplanation Animal Kingdom, because in the first episode, 5 minutes, that's all it is. It's out now. We talk about pandas. I give you all the facts.
Oh, wow.
I didn't do any research, but I give you the facts that I may know.
Do you realize that he always complains about me promoting my stuff?
Oh,
And
no,
my
that's
stuff
all he's
the
doing.
First time I ever do it.
whole night. The
I
whole
learned
night.
it from you, okay, Culture? I learned it from you.
So, ETEP, you want to share that article so you can go through it? Because I
Yeah.
want you to read, because I don't want to read.
Yes, I got it.
And I think it's important we talk about this. The idea that they want to, and it's sexualized for me. I think they're trying to sexualize, even though it's live actions, a kid's remake live action movie from Disney. These actors want to make sure kids know that this person is gay. We don't have to, I don't know why we have to do that. I mean, it should just be a movie about a beast and a girl and whatever you want to do. Like, do you guys feel like, and I'm just trying to say, like, does there need to be representation in everything?
No.
Well, I think if they're going to do it, do it. I think that's the biggest problem at the moment. It's just all essentially a tease. It's like, oh, look, there's this gay character in there. Did you see that? In the back corner, he brushed his hand up against someone's pocket.
Yep.
You know? We're good people now. Don't look into Uyghur.
Yeah, and it's funny too, because like they talk about how they want. I shared that. I set the screen share up,
Okay.
Scott. They talk about how GLAAD wants to push for more representation within 5-10 years, and the percentage of, and I said this in my video, so people weren't think I'm just going off against, oh, he's against the gays. No, they want upwards of like 20. North of 20% representation for gay characters. I think it might even say up to 50%, when the actual number of adults in the U.S. that identify as alphabet is 5.1%.
And that's the issue.
It's over-representation, and it doesn't belong in children's entertainment. So I'll take us through this. Josh Gad on role as Gay LeFou in live-action Beauty and the Beast. We didn't go far enough. And this was like the crux of my video is how far is too far? How far do you want to take this in a children's movie? What that's I said, does Gad want to like just strap on the knee pads and go full Kamala Harris? I mean, what does he want to do here? It's ridiculous. But
They
yes,
could have
it's
gone
according
a little bit further and stressed the cuck aspect of that.
right.
You know,
I
it's
mean,
like-
look, he's got the facial expression down right here.
Ooh, 90s
Smiling
gay
like a
face.
donut.
Yeah, that is 90s
He looks
gay
like
face.
gay meatloaf.
I would do anything for Gaston.
Well, that's exactly the point, isn't it? I mean, how far are you supposed to go? I mean, what do you want him prancing around at a rainbow flag? Again, you want him on his knees? I mean, for God's sake, I mean, when they say don't go far enough, what the fuck's that supposed to mean? You want him actually kissing someone? I mean, where does it stop?
Oh, it's clear like a fellatio, I think.
And besides that, I'm going to steal this one from Nick. Look, if you really want to see people bumping squidgy bits, right? Porn is free.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Oh, that's a
and
great
talking
point there,
about
Nick.
porn,
Since
Tom
when?
from Midnight's Edge. How are you, sir?
Hi,
How are you?
I am super. Thanks for asking.
All right. Before we go back into this article,
just one point though. You guys
Yeah.
just brought up the overrepresentation. I just remember like a month or two ago covering an article about how Netflix was just had a ton of overrepresentation when it came to the gay community compared to how many gay people are actually in the world. You guys brought that exact point up. So this is actually becoming a thing now. It's like there's so much overrepresentation across the board, except for basically a few various audiences. and one of them is one that we keep bringing up, and that is the Latino audience, which is extremely overlooked.
Right.
And so like this is just bullshit. And actually, I think the article was about trans representation, but it's similar in a sense that yes, we're getting so much over-representation. Now, like you literally have like 1 or 2 or 3 gay characters in almost everything that's out there now, which I don't have a problem with that. But when it comes to children's entertainment,
yes,
what is the point?
It doesn't serve that's it. It doesn't serve a point. It doesn't make any sense.
That's the thing. It's not for the children. It's for the neurotic adults.
Yes.
That's what it's for.
Well put.
And you look,
go watch it.
but if you look at children's, they're basically trying to groom kids because they are. That's exactly what they're doing.
Social
because
engineering. Yes, sir.
Exactly. You can't tell me that 6, 7, like I said, my son, we were watching the Chucky show, and he had to ask me why the two, and I had to sit there and try to fumble through explaining to my 6-year-old why the 2 boys were kids. I'm like, and I know it's a little more for adults.
Let's not even get into the problem with you watching a Chucky show with your kids to begin with.
Yeah.
No, dude,
all the 6-year-olds are raving about.
He watches Halloween. He's seen all 3 of the Beverly Hills Cop movies with me.
Yeah.
To groom kids in a manner, to bring it back to the point, like this, to say that you need representation in children's entertainment is absolutely ridiculous because they don't reach the age of discovery until they're 12, 13 years old.
What you're talking about is, okay, it's one thing to have, say, a character who has 2 moms. That's
right. That's normal. To me, that's normal.
Now, if you have a situation though, like in She-Ra, the more recent She-Ra reboot, where a lot of that was just basically a bunch of bi and gay shipping going on in that show.
Right.
Yes.
And that's where it's like, okay, this is the thing, is you rarely see any kind of shipping going on that's straight shipping in most children's entertainment. Why are you shoving this so much down the throat of everybody?
Right.
And again, it's not like they're not even coming out with new product. They are rebooting things from our childhoods.
Yes.
And then we have to, like Etep was saying, explain it to our kids why. Well, you watched this growing up. How come these guys are, sword fighting?
Well, that's the only other thing is, like, they're trying to do it on purpose. They're trying to take that power out of parents' hands. We're seeing this in the school system, too.
Yes.
It's the meta narrative.
Yes. And what it is it used to be that it was, sure, they had certain, like, sex education's always been a fucking taboo subject in school.
Yep.
But one thing, for the most part, it was like, when they get to a certain age, yes, most people agree, most people should have a cursory knowledge of basic sexual education. Nobody can argue that, and at least somewhat cursory knowledge of how you protect yourself. Nobody can argue that.
Right.
Now, the problem we get to after that is none of those teachings that I just said to you have anything to do with about who or what you're fucking.
Right.
Unless you're trying to make a baby.
Right.
So outside of that, there's nothing in that you can teach just straight sexual education without it being straight sex, gay sex, lesbian sex, bisexual sex. Just the act of being sexual in general can be talked about. And the fact of how the natural human body works, whether you're male, female, or other, right? Those things can be discussed without cramming that into elementary schools.
Yeah.
This is not the time or place for it. They're trying to take it out of parents' hands because it's up to the parents to decide by their moral standing, their religious standing, their family upbringing, their, in some cases, where they come from. All these things factor into how families deal with this subject. And I don't feel like, and I'm sure most of you agree, that it should be up to the schools and entertainment to be taking that role away from the parents, especially the fucking schools. Because at least a parent can regulate what their kid is watching. What they can't do is sit next to their kid at fucking school and make sure their teacher isn't doing some stupid shit. And I can't believe some of the shit that I've seen come out of some of these schools. I thought we went through some propaganda bullshit when we were in school.
No, nothing like today.
Is unfucking real.
You'll have teachers openly insulting kids based on their political beliefs because the teachers will goad the kids into a political discussion in class or their parents' beliefs. Yeah. And then the teacher will mock and shame that child if they're anything right of communism. And that's the only way it works. You don't see this. It only goes one way. It only goes one way. It does. It never goes. You don't see, you never, I swear to God, I've never seen a video of a conservative teacher mocking a child that does not believe in conservative values in a class. It's always the other way around. Always. Right. And I'm not a conservative either. Don't get that twisted. Right. I'm a libertarian. So it's bullshit. And it does it. It only goes one way.
Right. Well, this idea that, look, and Tom, you put it perfectly, because we don't know what they're saying to them at school, and that's kind of scary at times. Luckily,
when you do get a window into it, it is very scary.
Right. You know, you see these videos, like, that's why I talk to my daughter every day. How did they teach you this? How did they teach you that? It's in the curriculum.
Remember that one video that lady that put out there that was like a 10-minute video where she goes through the whole website thing that you had to get through the portal or whatever through the with a password and stuff that had all the CRT and the gay and lesbian and bisexual and trans education and all this kind of shit.
I mean, these kids coming home and telling their parents, like, there was one of a father at a PTA or a school board meeting, and he was a black gentleman, and he said, my biracial children had to come home and tell us that their mom was evil, or she was bad because she was white. Like, who are you to be teaching children any like that? Reverse the roles, reverse that, and pretend like they were saying, you know, that would be like deep, you know, racist,
condemned on all sides,
which it is.
It would be condemned on all sides, but that's what I've been I've been hammering.
A little smarter with it, because I think this Batman movie is a subject that's going to feed into that too. But we'll get to that if we talk about that.
Right.
Before what we do, saying, Matt?
Yeah, well, so this is why I've been hammering, making sure that whenever we talk about CRT or critical theory in general, when it comes to school, that do not say that they are teaching CRT. It is that it is it is being applied to what they are teaching.
Yes,
it is through that lens. Look at CRT as a lens, like any ideology that they are viewing the
curriculum.
Yep, thank you. Yes. In what they choose to actually teach.
Right.
One last thing though, because we were kind of way past it, but like with I understand that there is a world where you could have like gay representation in children programming, just as part of the world, not as like, ooh, look at us, we're banging, but like two dads. Like I think someone said something about two moms earlier.
Fine. Yeah, but that's nobody's got a problem with that.
No,
but the problem with it though is with anything, when men, meaning man as in human beings, Mama Susan. Anyway, but when human beings are involved, they fuck shit up. Same thing with religion, right? Yep. The Christianity or or anything isn't the problem. It is when people get in there like, I bet I could use this for some shit. You know what I mean? It's the same thing here. It is an ideology that is a non-theistic religion, and it is being utilized to benefit certain people and certain agendas, and that's it.
Well, and here's the thing: most kids, by the time that they're old enough to have feelings, know what they are, and we don't need people like front loading that. You should be this, you should be that. Just let them fucking be who they are. Give them the information to protect themselves and to prevent the spread of disease, and then just fuck off.
That's what sex ed used to be.
That's what I was saying is, you can still teach sex ed in the biological side of it, the safety side of it, without getting into you should be effing this person or that person.
Right.
You don't have to get into any of that shit.
Right.
None of that has to discuss any of that. Unless you're discussing making a baby.
Right.
Which at what point you have to say, yes, you technically have to have a male and female of the species to do this without a doctor.
Male and female organs,
Allegedly.
Yes.
No, there's no fucking allegedly about this shit, kids.
Mama Susan just took her boot off my neck. Right. I'm trying to.
Yeah, that's a man and a woman, not somebody masquerading around pretending to be a woman. Not Nyla Rose.
But I like what Soul.
I'd like you to egg inside this fleshlight for me real fast.
Well, I like what Soul Assassin says right here. Just let's leave the kids alone to enjoy their childhood and keep the woke shit out of it.
When my kid was growing up, the worst part I had to worry about was like them just like a lot of the cartoons then were taking the fart jokes too far, right? Like the bathroom humor a bit too far.
Ren and Stimpy,
not even so much that, but just like there was a bit of the this is even worse than some of the shit that we would consider adult cartoons back when I was a kid, right? Like that's the worst of the shit. So like my kid watching The Simpsons and Looney Tunes, that was an easy fix. Like he liked some new cartoons, but outside of PBS Kids, he would only watch classic shit because there was a lot of the new stuff I couldn't stand. He loves SpongeBob and stuff like that, but other than that, like most of the newer stuff, he didn't really get into all that much.
Yeah,
and I was glad because it was just obnoxious.
Well,
but now you're right; it's
garbage,
agenda-driven shit that it makes you feel uncomfortable because it's not so much that I have a problem with there being a gay character. It's like, no, I just don't think that should be something that I would be just
it's
as
how they're
uncomfortable.
representing.
I would be just as uncomfortable
especially
if we were talking about straight sexuality in a kid's show. Is my point.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, even with this example of what's his name, LaFleur or whatever it is, the whole point of that character was he idolized Gaston for that. He was his best friend. Now there's something nefarious about it because all he wants to do is get his whistle wet.
You're right.
Yes.
Exactly.
It completely changed
Point.
it ruined.
He's now become something of a, dare I say it, the stereotype of the predatory gay.
Well, that's what I was just about to say
Yeah.
too. You know, Josh Gad, first of all, not gay, shouldn't be playing the character, and new Hollywood rules. You want to play by it.
Well, he's
Number
not
two,
French either. He's
Scott,
not French either.
It only goes one way. Like I said, man, it's rules for thee, but not for me. These insane leftist Hollywood freaking weirdos will say, yeah, we have to have representation. You can't play this role, but well, this guy can
yeah,
because
he
thinks, and he's in the hive mind, so he's fine.
Well,
right.
it's a bit pointless anyway because it's all going to get cut out for China in any case.
Yeah.
So
Right.
What's the
Right.
point?
Yep.
and Russia
Correct.
completely.
And Russia.
Completely.
beat me to it.
Well,
Save some
Sam,
money and leave it alone.
Sam, you said it good too. They took a character that was a funny character that idolized a stereotypical macho man.
Well, the idea is I think we've all seen the original. I mean, look, in the original, LeFou was
He was like a
essentially a bootlicker, right?
Yes.
He was essentially a bootlicker. So what they've done by making him gay, and I'm sorry to be crude, but I'm going to quote Jay Longbone on this one. They've turned him from a bootlicker into a cocksucker.
Yeah.
And that is not
Yep.
and that is not it's not a positive leap, shall we say. So if they want good representation, they're not getting it.
Right.
No,
Went
you're
from,
100% right.
kissing
It's
ass to eating ass.
No, you're 100%
You never go ass to mouth.
It's like the same complaint of why are all
God,
the
you sound like my
serial
ex.
killers either trans or gay, right? Like that was all the big complaint for the longest time, stemming from Silence of the Lambs, which I still have yet to hear anybody truly give me a good argument that there's any proof that that character's gay or trans for that matter. He just wants to wear the skin.
He's just a freak.
No,
Yeah.
Is it because he talks?
Buffalo.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. Like so that was where a lot of this started. Was there was this constant linking. Oh, why is it every time there's a character like this, they're portrayed as some kind of psycho? It's like, first of all, you're reading way too much into it, right?
Yeah.
And this also goes along with them reading way too much into.
It's
you're
the
ogling a
it's the
character
shippers
or
that
whatever
do it as
too.
well.
Yeah.
The thing is, you get a character who is, I mean, what's the joke? I mean, two guys stand next to each other for more than 5 minutes. Someone in the audience, probably a Fujoshi, is going to assume they're gay. I thought last time I checked,
Sam.
like back in the day, back in the 80s, last time I checked, this was a bad thing for people just to be assuming shit out of nowhere.
Right.
Like that used to be a form of bullying last I checked, but now it's completely okay.
Tom, you
And it's a lot
remember
of
when
stereos-
I'm sorry,
Go ahead.
real quick. Do you remember Awesome One says this? Remember when kids shows were basically toy commercials?
Yeah,
Those
it
were
was
the best.
awesome.
Or cereal
awesome.
and candy commercials. Yeah.
Exactly.
No, and I don't want to speak for the gay community, obviously, and I don't want to say that my friend was speaking for all gay people when he said this, but I do feel like the feeling is probably reflected across a lot of the folks who feel this way. If there's any gay folks listening right now, please chime in if you feel one way or the other.
Right.
But if you guys remember, it was like 2 years ago, they were bouncing around the idea of making Bert and Ernie gay.
Yeah.
Or
Come
out of the closet. It was.
Yeah.
Now,
Admit that they were boyfriends.
Frank Oz has brought this point up before, and he brought up pretty much the same. My friend that I was just talking about brought up pretty much the same point as Frank Oz, because I pointed out to him. You know, it's funny. Frank Oz said the same kind of thing, not exactly, but similar. And my friend said this. He goes, "That's the problem we've had in the gay community for all my years," because he's like 40 something. So you know, he's an older gay guy.
Yeah.
He's like, "Is this stereotype?" He goes, "Just because two guys live together doesn't necessarily mean they're both gay."
Right.
Or that
I thought
either
they
of
were
them are
supposed
gay.
to be the odd couple.
That's the stick.
Yeah,
And that's what
that's
Frank
what it
Oz said.
Yep.
Exactly. And he said that's the problem we've always fought with that stereotype of Bert and Ernie is just because they're two guys that live together, they're automatically gay,
Right.
and then that turns them into some kind of perversion and all this other bullshit. And he's like, that was my problem with characters growing up, is not so much that I didn't have representation, it was when the representation was either overly flamboyant or they're creepy.
And somewhat ironically as well, they end up, as a result, this is why I mean it's a kind of bullying, because it ends up demonizing actual platonic male friendships. I mean, you've only got to look at.
That's what he was saying too. Yes.
Lord of the Rings, for example, like with Sam and Frodo, and then Aragorn, Boromir, Legolas, Gimli, all of that kind of stuff. Like ultimately, this fringe group of people who are sexualizing everything are actually pushing things backwards. And they're demonizing platonic friendships by saying, "Oh, you guys can't be close unless you're gay."
And where Tolkien
regression
the whole
is progression.
time. Well, in Tolkien the whole time, that was the bond from war. Men, all they cared about was protecting each other.
Yeah, soldier and his Batman. Yeah,
very deep forms of male love that doesn't cross a sexual line, like past brothers, past family. It's like a soul thing.
You guys said that because that's exactly what he said to me. He goes, that's equivalent of people saying that you're gay just because we're friends.
Right. It's so messed up, man. Look,
and that's probably a good place to move on from. But yeah.
Right. This guy named Mr. Grant Gregory, Australian $2 and a channel member, says, biased opinion, best panel ever, especially Nick. Nick is doing great on the show tonight, everybody.
It's a little too diverse for my liking, but
let me show what you have there. What is this, Mad?
So this is the latest report from GLAAD on representation on TV, right? And there's some pretty interesting.
This is the one I was talking about, actually.
This is quoted in the article too.
Oh, really? So if the first thing they talk about is that of the 775 series regular characters appear unscripted, 92 characters, 11.9% are LGBTQ. The reason why that's interesting is because Gallup estimates like 5.6 of the U.S. adult population is of LGBTQ.
So
they
over
easily,
double the
right?
population.
Yeah. Yep. By the way, and they want more. They said like they're not happy with this amount. They want even more.
They want like 50% in like 10 to 15 years.
And then what? But to what Tom's saying is,
it does.
Let's
It makes
look
sense.
at the
It's 50%.
Latin
You're either
community.
gay or you're not. 50%. It makes sense.
Right, but the Latin community is under represented.
Well,
but they don't, unless they're gay characters.
They make up like 40% of the viewing audience. Yeah.
Well, that's interesting because it does talk about POC. Trying to find it
right there. You go down. I think it said something about characters of color.
It's actually 30 something.
Of all primetime series regulars on broadcast, 50% are characters of color. 4% point increase from the previous year. That one you're talking about?
What's the time frame for all of this?
Last year.
Oh, geez. Well, look, it's like as I've said before, like most people enjoying this sort of content are probably in their either children in their teens or in their 20s. If you grew up in the 90s or 2000s, you had diversity everywhere. You're just not looking hard enough.
Well, but this isn't just children though. This is across the board for television. By the way, do you want to know the percentage of the population that is black? 12.4.
I was just going to say, I have the other side of that, Mad. It's funny here. They said that there's 50% of the representation is non-white.
Yeah.
Over 75% of America is white.
Yeah.
Yep.
Wait a minute. That's more.
He does math, people. Yeah, it is pretty interesting, though.
And that other 24% is made up of 12% black. I believe another 8 or 9% Latino, and then the rest is
small percent of Asian. Yeah,
very few Greeks.
Look, the Asians are white adjacent. We all know that.
Right.
True. Yeah,
but from what they report and the people that are the loudest, there is not a representation enough, and that's now they want to go with the children, and that's what scares me. Let's leave just sexuality out of children's shows.
I'll put the link to this in the chat if anybody wants to go through the entire report. It's interesting to check out.
It shows how equity works, kids.
Yeah.
Yeah, not equality, equity.
Equity.
Yeah.
They don't want equality. They want equity.
That's it. That's it. Now, Tom, you did see the Batman.
I did.
You don't have to go spoil. You know, I don't give a shit if you're spoiling, but
well,
without spoils,
Damn it.
let's hear what you had to say.
Well, I did drop a spoiler-free review.
We'll drop the link in there, and you can also tell it on here.
Unless
so
we
I
just
can
want to
use
watch
you.
it real quick, we can do that.
We could do that. All right, if you want to share it, let's watch
I
it,
can hang on here.
and then he'll copyright strike me. That's
Nah.
not
We won't do that. Why would we do
Go
that?
ahead and show it, and I'll claim you.
He's like, I won't do that again.
Never again.
I don't know how much.
Never.
I don't know how much Andre is involved, but I feel like he's a dude that's gonna claim a guy. Like he
Nah,
doesn't
not
know
really.
Scott.
I don't think he knows how.
He loves me, dude. He loves me.
Well, don't teach him, Tom, because I want to steal some content.
All right, let's listen to the great voice of Andre.
It's been a long time coming. Not only did Matt Reeves take his sweet time delivering the script, filming was shut down several times over due to various lockdown restrictions, during which Pattinson kept us entertained with interviews from his hotel room, coming across like a loon, in what I can only presume must have been a sample of his Kurt Cobain-esque take on The Dark Knight. But now the movie is here, and according to the very first batch of reviews, it was the best Batman movie ever, bar none. By the second cycle of reviews, though, it had developed some third act and other issues. Will more issues appear as ever more reviews roll in? I don't know, because I won't have the opportunity to see the movie until this Friday. My associate Tom, however, has seen it already, and in this review of his, he will, after establishing where he stands on Batman,
He knows your
break
name.
down the good, the bad, and the nitty-gritty about the Batman.
Ooh.
He pays me enough. He should know.
I'm so cutting this up to be a video.
As a lifelong Batman fan, my earliest exposure would have been the Super Friends and Adam West versions. But
Tom's
being a child of
talking.
the 80s, the 1989 film will always hold a special place in my heart. Sorry. I've never been an avid follower of the comics per se, but have read a few and some of the graphic novels, and have a fairly decent working knowledge of the character and the world that Batman inhabits. In the last few years, the deconstruction of superheroes has become more and more commonplace. And with the Nolan trilogy, as much as I enjoyed it for the most part, Dark Knight Rises withstanding, it was so grounded in reality, it really was so much different than any other major superhero film before it. I haven't really seen a lot of Matt Reeves or Robert Pattinson's work for that matter, full disclosure, but was a very big fan of the newer take of the Planet of the Apes franchise, and the last two of which were helmed by Reeves. Outside of that, though, I have no real frame of reference, other than he's a JJ acolyte, and of course the fact that he didn't begin the new version of the Apes franchise, he inherited it, even if his voice is the most prominent. Now here we are with the third film since 1966 to be called Batman, albeit with the before it. Until Batfleck's fate is certain, is the in the title trying to tell us something? Regardless, how does this film stack up overall and against the previous incarnations? Well, I'm about to give you my spoiler-free reaction to the film. First, we'll go through a quick synopsis of the movie, then I'll start with the good, and then get into the bad. Batman investigates a series of murders that leads him to Gotham's underworld. A sadistic killer leaves behind a trail of cryptic clues that are addressed to the Caped Crusader himself. As evidence begins to uncover the past of many of the key players, our heroes, reluctant and full of vengeance, must join forces to uncover the plot that is tearing the city apart both literally and figuratively. Overall, the story is easy enough to follow. It appears to be heavily influenced by The Long Halloween. For the most part, the main performances are good to serviceable. Kravitz, Turturro, and Farrell turn in good work. Most of the supporting cast is decent, including Jeffrey Wright, the always excellent Andy Serkis, and Paul Dano does tune the scenery quite well. The cinematography does add an overall character to the city of Gotham we probably haven't seen since the 1989 film, or at least Batman Begins. Even if you ignore the film's running time, percentage-wise, this is the most screen time we probably get to see Batman doing Batman things. There is a lot to admire here. Getting to see Batman be a detective is a plus. Working closely with Gordon is also a treat, but sadly, that's pretty much the good. Here we go. There are varying degrees of the back. Actually, I'm pretty nice. Some of it could have been easily handled with a nice tighter cut. This, I feel, is going to be the film's biggest complaint: the running time. This movie feels like a Snyder film, right down to the slow-mo stuff. So those fans will feel very comfortable and at home with the look. Most people might find it a bit too murky and long-winded in the end. Some scenes and setups linger way too long, inflating some of the screen time for sure. The first act flows decent enough, but once the third act hits, the film feels almost like a different movie. It begins to overstay its welcome 2 hours in. That isn't to say the film is bad overall, but the running time does hurt the movie. This feels like a very overindulgent director's cut. For some, that will be a blessing. For others, it will be mind-numbing, if not, in the very least, patience and bladder testing. Sadly, also, most of the characters are very generic, even the better performances. Without getting into spoilers, some could have just been any character at all. In fact, the fact that they may be popular, well-known characters is almost irrelevant. Some of the rest of the performances are so in the tone of cop thrillers like Seven that it does clash a bit with Batman's world. Pattinson is the worst part of the film, in my opinion. His performance isn't horrible overall, but my inability to separate his image from Edward Sparklepants is just too strong. Some may be able to overlook this, and for those who can, his performance will probably seem decent enough, if not much more than any previous Batman brought to the table, but not the worst by far. The overly serious tone does clash with some of the scenes that we should enjoy. Many of the film's so-called twists I seen coming from a mile away. I felt like it was always a step ahead of the Riddler the entire time. This made me feel the runtime even more. To get into too much more would venture into spoiler territory, so I don't want to do that. In the end, I can recommend the film to most hardcore fans of Batman. Snyder fans may enjoy it the most, but casual viewers or the general audience may not like the movie as much. In the end, if you can get past Pattinson and are a Snyder-esque fan, you may enjoy it. For me personally, though, the tonal clash was just too much overall. But at the same time, this is still the most Batman we've ever got to see Batman be Batman on screen since probably the 1966 series or the animated series for that matter. Too bad it just feels weird juxtaposed against the overly grounded feeling that Reeves is striving for. There are some great action sequences and some not so great, but there is also a lot of downtime as well with just brooding and rehashing of previous scenes. Because of that, the Batman does seem overindulgent to pretentious at times. Although it is seemingly epic and sophisticated, it's undercut by a cookie-cutter plot, and the running time kills the momentum of the movie overall. The third act makes the Batman feel like it's 3 episodes of a streaming series crammed together more than an actual movie. Some people will really get into the grungy, dour tone, and if you like Batman punching people, well, you'll get plenty of that here. The movie doesn't make any major mistakes or destroy too many characters' legacies overall, so that's a plus for what it's worth. But the movie isn't very family-friendly. Keep this in mind if you're curious if your kid can handle the dark and violent tone. It's comparable to the Nolan and Snyder films, so plan accordingly.
For more on...
Dude, that guy sounds just like you.
I know, isn't it uncanny?
Wow, it's real sexy, too.
And Catwoman is the bestest ever.
Yeah, of course.
Dude, she has a whip. Of course, it makes sense.
See,
well,
I
there's
can
this
see
whole
people liking that,
underlying
though.
thing that people will ignore in it that I don't want to get into because it gets into spoiler territory, but there is some major issues with this movie that I was not alone in seeing. So I'm glad Chris Gore saw it too. Because I'm like, yeah, I can see this, but I'm just wondering if anybody else is going to pick them on it because they're going to be distracted by Batman punching people.
Right. Is it with the characters, the take on the character, or is it?
It's some inserted SJW bullshit. I'll say that.
Oh,
right
there
now.
we go.
Let me put it to you this way. I think I said it in the private chat. Basically, every white character is bad or flawed. Mm-hmm. And if they're not bad or flawed, then they're not white.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense.
Go figure.
That's the way it is right now.
All the way down
that's
to
the same
Batman
way.
himself.
I mean, that's always been that way in Gotham. Oh, wait, no, that's Batwoman. Never mind.
Well, it's
Don't you get me
funny
started.
because if you see the movie The King's Men, the prequel to the 2014 movie, it is, the upper class of England, white male not being treated like the evil, bad father, bad anything. They actually make a take on it that isn't, it's not the best movie, but I like that they used the time period the way the time period was meant to be. A white male with a black servant and a female maid, and he wasn't the devil. He wasn't a bad father. That I have to say, if you haven't seen it, watch it and let me know what you think of the message, because to me the message is positive overall, which is weird in today's world.
Well, I like the first Kingsman movie, so I'm hoping this one's going to be all right. The second one was
it's better than the second one.
I've heard this one's better than the second one. Yeah,
it's
that's what I've heard.
definitely better.
Okay,
The first one was I tried to watch the new Kingman, and the girlfriend and I, like, we paused it. I'm like, holy shit, it's only been 48 minutes. It felt like it was 3 hours.
It does kind of drag, man, and it's like 2 different movies in there in a way.
Yeah,
like,
I haven't gone back.
But I have to say, there's a moment where you're like, holy shit, they did it. Like, they went and they did something I wasn't expecting them to do. It wasn't a bad movie. Was it great? Yeah. No. It wasn't as good as the first one. Definitely better than the second one. I think
that one had Magic Mike.
Yeah, it was definitely not a bad movie.
Like 3 minutes. The first one was great.
Etep's got to jet because he's got to get ready for his show. Etep, what time is your show at? A half hour, right?
Yeah, 9 p.m. Eastern. Tony and I will be joined by a bunch of the members of the Fandom Collective team this evening. Rookie Critic, Fanzine, Fallon. We're going to see if we can get Flip to come on. I know he's busy as hell. I miss Flipped Out. And New Comic Normie be stopping by for Holy Shit News and the quiz sensation that's sweeping the nation, Do You Know Me? And I'm so
I like that one a lot.
Yeah, dude, that's we might just turn the Wednesday show into a quiz, just a whole freaking quiz show. Honestly,
I have to say your show is better than mine. So
who won last week?
Let's hang on. I've got the scorecard right here.
Don't worry about it. I was there. I won.
Mr. Grant Gregory.
Yeah, that's right, Mr. Grant Gregory. Well, you won by like 1 point. It was like 1 or 2 points because you had 28.
That was my one.
It was. You did set the record for high score last week.
Scott, before he leaves, I need to tell you what he did the first time I played that game with him. One, everybody else on the panel ghosted. All of them left. Now I was supposed to leave a little early too, but they all were gone. I was like, well, I can't leave him alone. And he's trash.
Fucking drunk.
Just because him and me, and he's reading these cards, and he's like, so tell us something that no one knows about you sexually. Like, I don't know. But it was
sexual chocolate, baby.
Man. He was so drunk.
I was
having a lot of fun though.
Well, you're killing it, man.
Let them lead the way.
Let them do the sexual chocolate. That boy
good. Sexual chocolate, baby. Randy Watson.
That boy good. 44 people here, guys. ETEP show is an actual stream. It is very well done. Production way better than mine. So make sure you check him out at 9 p.m. We're going to be shutting it down in about 15 minutes. So go over there right after. But until then, good luck, ETEP. Thank you for being here.
Thank you. Have a great night, everyone. Panel, chat, hail. Have a great evening.
Have a good one, buddy.
Everybody.
See ya.
Hail, ETEP.
God, that guy sucks. So we have one more I wanted to talk about. We're going to kind of jump around on this one just to read what she said. But they're from this
it's
series.
Like crisscross.
Yeah, crisscross.
Make you jump.
Makes you jump. From the actress from the series Sherlock, her name's Amanda Abbington, comes after, finally, somebody coming after celebrities who is a celebrity.
From Sherlock. She was the, secret agent chick.
Yeah, and she is telling other celebrities, be quiet and shut the F up. Regarding anything to do with ukulele and Prussia. So we've seen this broad, right?
Pushing down on me.
For the record, I am on whatever side Mama Susan is on.
Yes, Mama
Under
Susan, I'm
pressure.
sorry. We're disagreeing. So we all remember her, Dear Mr. President Vlad, the Impaler.
Nobody knows who I am, so I'm going to put out this really weird tweet.
Nobody cared who I was before I put on the mask.
If I was your mother.
I'd breastfeed from your hairy nipples. So Abbington began, and she wanted to let celebrities know this. Celebrities from around the world, if you are thinking of posting any kind of poetry, sonnet, Shakespearean text, or Wind Beneath My Wings in direct keys and mashed together in some hideous montage in order to help the people of ukulele, please don't. She further said, it doesn't serve anyone. It just makes you look like a dick.
Well said.
I love her for that. I don't know her, but I love her for that.
I still hate her for her role in Sherlock, but I like her now.
Oh, God, you got to love her for that. She offers some advice. She says to the celebrities, what you could do are two things. Either shut the fuck up and don't do anything, or you could donate some money to the ukulele people and make sure they are getting enough supplies and food and are being looked after. They are the two things you should do. The poetry, sonnets, and Shakespeare is something you should steer very clear of. Finally, someone who just put it out there the way it should be. She concludes with, so to recap, no poetry, no sonnets, no singing ridiculous songs. Just be quiet and shut the fuck up. Thank you.
More balls than Cumberbatch right there.
Right. Absolutely, man. Like, we needed this from any form of a celebrity. I wish, you have somebody like John Cena who bitched out to China, but when it came to this, wanted to sell Peacemaker the series. We don't need that. We don't need Gal Gadot singing Imagine terribly. We need, just shut up. In the time of social media.
As far as I'm concerned, all the Ukrainian flags on Twitter and that's just embarrassing. Just frigging stop it.
Yeah.
Everybody knows you couldn't give less of a shit.
Point it out on a map with nothing on
Yes.
it. Tell me where it is.
Show me where the pipeline is in Georgia.
Yeah. So I love it too. She also responded to somebody. So the user wrote, according to this person, if you're an artist, poet, musician, painter, etc., you are useless. Artists have never done any good in the world, and you should be quiet. The only real speech is money. So she responds, nope, not saying that at all. I am an actress, and I have been for over 30 years. I am merely saying that sanctimonious posts sometimes miss the mark and are counterproductive. And my post was also incredibly tongue-in-cheek. How you got that from my post is baffling. Good for her, man.
Yeah, absolutely. Good
right.
honor.
We need more of that.
I think her and Gina Carano should get in a hot tub and have some wine or something.
Yeah, or make a movie with them in a hot tub. Whatever works.
Yeah.
For me personally, I am sick and tired of celebrities who think so highly of themselves that their words they think will change the world. They're not going to. I'm sorry. You're an actor. You get paid to read somebody else's lines.
More often than not, they're actually responsible for half the problems going on,
right?
As well. So it's just slightly ironic coming from the uber rich and the elite. I mean, come on, man.
Just shut up. I think that's the best thing to say. So I'm just reading the private chat. That's pretty funny. Anything else you guys want to talk about before we close it up? I barely got any sleep last night, so I'm good whenever you guys are.
I just hopped in because you sent me a damn link.
Well, because I love having you on, and anytime I see you in the chat, I'm throwing you one because I don't want to bother you all the time, but I will bother you all the time.
You can bother me if I come in. I'll click the link.
Nice.
Tom, did you see my joke I made in the chat about the invoice from you being on
the show last night?
Speakeasy? Yeah, it was really good, and nobody highlighted it.
Why? What was it?
No, I don't think I did. In the regular comments.
In chat with the the normies.
No, I didn't see it.
What did you say? We don't have to highlight it.
Yeah. Man, I wish it would highlight my name because that's what I'm most interested in.
All I see is you talking to Gap Stargate.
Yeah,
it was before that. This is so important because it was so good. But now I'm building it up too much.
Yeah, it's really wild.
Whoa, I can get naked girl here. Look at that.
Oh wait! I got it.
Oh, there you go.
Oh yeah. You should see the invoice from his appearance on the channel last night. So many surcharges, and he's constantly trying to upsell you on including
What's Bat Tom?
Bat
Tom's not cheap.
Bat Tom isn't cheap. Bat Tom is one of my favorite characters.
It was a
of all
good joke.
time.
There was something there.
Yeah, that was really good though. You did a great job.
It was better. Don't forget the panda video. But yeah. So just remember me like that.
The panda video. You know what? The panda video was worth it.
You should see the whole thing, dude. Like I had a lot of fun with it. It's funny.
Is that
9
on
out
your
of
channel?
10. Yeah. I just put it up today. It's
All right,
only
nice.
5 minutes, bro. Like I know you never listened to the Luminaire song that they did for Game of Thrones, but this is only 5 minutes, Scott.
Okay, hold on. Is that what Mr. Grant Gregory just gave me?
No, that's my own thing. I thought I'd chill before.
Oh, yes. All right, let's let
This is
Mr. Grant
loud and
Gregory
annoying.
chill before anybody else. And this is, here we go. It is Mr.
The
Grant
super
Gregory.
cut.
Oh,
The
look at
super
this.
cut.
Okay.
Oh, I love this so much. It's so great.
Hold on, I got to start it over. I'm sorry. All right, ready? How many times can they say it?
My name's Mr. Isla, and I'm so
representative, inclusive, diversity, inclusive, included, representation.
Okay, cut.
Wow.
They mentioned Tolkien once.
Is that insane or what, man?
Yeah.
I didn't repeat any of those likes or anything like that either.
Yeah, I had to ask him, like, bro.
Seriously, that was all.
Totally.
If they say
Totally.
or then take a shot.
Yep.
That is
By the way,
insane.
don't show mine because you'll get claimed. I use the presidents of the United States of America in the Luminaires, which you still haven't listened to that song. But I put the link to my new series, Match Play Nation, in the chat.
Okay, so everyone, make sure you check that out. Make sure you check out Sam and Nick McCabe, or is it Nick and Sam McCabe?
Whichever.
Whichever.
It's Nick. It's Nick and Sam McCabe
Okay.
on YouTube, guys. Yeah.
Okay, so Nick and
Excited
Sam
to
McCabe
see
on
what
YouTube.
they're going to do next.
Please check them out. Check out Mad. Definitely Mr. Grant Gregory. Immortal Coil's going live tonight, right? Tonight?
Yeah, I'll be going live at 7, so you'll have enough time to check out ETEP. Just pop by, hit me a thumbs up, type me a little something.
What time
sweet,
zone?
And then, this is Pacific Standard Time. So
Can you put it in normal people time, Central?
So 10 p.m. Eastern?
9 p.m.
fucking
Central.
come out to Seattle, you know.
What? Oh, wow.
I can't do math.
Been there. I've seen rain. I get it.
Thank you to Soul Assassin for putting everybody's links in the chat all night. Thank you guys. You mods rock. I really do appreciate everything.
Soul Assassin's good people.
He really is.
The presidents of the United States of America are not emo soy music, bro.
Yeah, they're bullshit.
Yeah, they like peaches. There's nothing emo about peaches.
Yeah.
And Tom, thank you for coming on and putting Midnight's Edge so I can cut that up into my own video and pretend like I'm part of
You now
Midnight's
owe
Edge.
me like $327.
It's all on the invoice.
It's on the tab.
On the
It's on the
invoice.
tab. It's there.
By the way, pizzas come from a can, and they're put there by a man in a factory downtown.
Okay. And to my
Gonna eat a
lot of peaches.
I love that fucking album.
It's
Detroit,
a great
gonna
album,
shoot a
dude.
lot of teachers.
In the
I know
90s,
every song word for word.
You know, the beautiful thing about the early 90s, you didn't have to be good looking. You just had to be talented. I miss that. Bring it back.
You literally can just go and like and be in a music video and no one's like, oh, that's a weird looking guy. They're like, yeah,
right.
Okay.
He's telling
I
about
accept
things that happened
this.
once to him. That's just so
Go listen
crazy.
to the Melvins.
Yeah.
That's from somebody living in Seattle.
The Melvins. I remember
Yes.
Kurt Cobain wanted to be in the Melvins.
He sure fucking did.
Yeah.
He also wanted to be in the ceiling and the floor at the same time. He got
Yeah.
one of his wishes. So
Check out the Pogues too. They rock.
Oh, man.
All right.
Were they
Thank you
being
to my
burnt in
channel members.
ditches?
Bye-bye.
did you get that thing checked out on your arm yet?
On my ass? Oh, that thing on my arm.
yeah,
That picture?
it's-
Burn. It's still growing. I'm waiting for it to talk to me. Yeah, that poor guy, whoever's body that really is, not mine, I swear. I hope he gets it checked out.
Oh wait, that's a Photoshop?
Oh, that's a real chick. What am I talking about? Good night, everybody.